Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We will present to you the final assessment of Second Language Acquisition PBF6024. I'm Aliciea Anjeli, anak Kederi, with my fellow members Doristhy Cheremi, Jancy, Sheo, Jimpau, Kellyna Shanie, and Lamenda Daree will present to you our findings. For your information, before we do the interview, questionnaire, and document analysis with the learners, we give them the consent form to fill in first, whether they are agree or disagree to be our informant. Now, let's move on to the introduction part. We present to you the second language acquisition processes of two learners by analyzing their language learning experiences through the lenses of Stephen Question's monitor model and Lev Vygotsky's sociocultural theory. Learner A, with Iban as a first language, and Learner B, as a native Malay speaker, exhibit distinct challenges and strengths in pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. By evaluating their profiles, data collected through Google Forms and interviews, and their learning strategies. And this presentation highlights the interplay between first language influence, motivation, and learning environments. The insights gathered underscore the importance of tailored approaches in SLA to meet individual learner needs. Next, this is our two chosen theories. Monitor model theory by Stephen Question. This chosen theory emphasizes how learners process and produce language. And sociocultural theory by Lev Vygotsky that highlights the role of social interaction and cultural context in learning and language development. Let's take a look at the learners' overview. This study involves two learners who are pursuing a diploma in food technology and are currently in their second year of study. Both learners have formal English education and enroll in the LCC 113 English for Communicative Competence 3 course. Their language backgrounds, motivations, learning methods, and challenges are different, providing valuable insights into their English learning experiences and strategies for improvement. Below are their individual profiles.
The method of this study is through questionnaire, interview, and document analysis. For the questionnaire part, it is conducted using Google Forms. Includes long and short answer question plus some MCQs. The reason behind this is to collect insight on learners' factors, strategies, and challenges in language acquisition. For the interview part, it is semi-structured with 5 open-ended questions, allow detailed response from the learners, recorded and transcribed for analysis. And then for the document analysis, it's involved analyzing one short essay from each learner. It is for identifies the themes, patterns, and insights into learners' cognitive and linguistic development.
Okay, next I'll be presenting an analysis of two learners, which are learner A and learners B, based on data collected through Google Form distributed to them. So we use Stephen Question monitor model and Lev Vygotsky cultural theory as the framework for this analysis. So let's start with learners A. So learners A first language is Iban and they also speak Malay and English. Their main motivation is personal improvement and they prefer learning through speaking and media exposures like movies. And then the challenges that learners A encounter is struggles with pronunciation and vocabulary acquisition. For example, they replace English sounds like f and v with p and b, which are common in Iban. This reflects a first language phonological influence. And then the learners and learning strategies uses speaking as a tool to self-correct errors during conversation and relies on watching movies with subtitles for comprehensible input. For theoretical insights, according to creation input hypothesis, exposure to native content slightly above their level helps with learning. Vygotsky theory highlights the role of peer feedback during group discussion, which supports learners' progress. While learners B background is first language is Malay, and they speak Chinese, or Mandarin, and English. Their motivation is to speak confidently, and they focus on speaking and writing. The challenges that learners be encounter is face grammar issues, such as omitting articles like and the due to first language interference, and struggles to retain vocabulary. And then learners be learning strategies is actively uses writing and speaking to practice. For example, they write journals, review them for mistake, and initiate English conversation with peers. In theoretical insights, according to creation output hypothesis, their focus on writing and speaking allows them to test their language use and receive feedback. Vygotsky theory highlights collaborative learning, and where teachers and peers provide guidance, improving learners' grammar. So, in conclusion, learners A and learners B demonstrate unique approaches to second language acquisitions. Learners A benefits from comprehensive input and social interaction, while learners B focuses on productive skills like speaking and writing for practice and improvement. These findings highlight the importance of understanding individual needs and using a variety of strategies to support language learning.
I will present our data interpretations obtained from the short interview. Learner A, who is an Iban, struggled with pronunciation and grammar. When asked to say the tongue twister, Learner A mispronounced words such as seashells instead of seashells. Since Learner A is an Iban, this can be linked to the lack of sh in the native phonology. This is supported by Lev Vygotsky's social cultural theory that emphasizes on the L1 interference, especially in speech production. This theory acknowledges the influence of the learner's L1 and cultural background on their pronunciation. As for the grammar part, Learner A said, I think I want to go to a small tourism island. The sentence is grammatically correct, but it could be rephrased for fluency, as I think I would like to visit a small tourist island. According to Krashen's effective filter hypothesis, highly motivated learners will take risks in using more complex vocabulary and sentence structures in their speech, while learners with low motivation will opt for simpler and safer words. So, based on the learner's profile that we have constructed, learner B admitted that she is not confident in speaking in the target language. Therefore, this could contribute to the lack of motivation, resulting in the use of simpler and safer words. Let's move on to learner B. Learner B, who is a Malay, struggled with pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, and she used code switching in her speech. In her responses, learner B mispronounced yearly instead of early and often instead of after. Phonological system of a learner's L1 may affect the way they produce or process sounds in a second language. This type of linguistic interference can affect the pronunciation, intonation, stress, or rhythm in the second language. This aligns with Lev Vygotsky's social culture theory, where it acknowledges that learners who are learning L2 they would depend significantly on their L1 as a medicinal tool, especially in the early stages of language acquisition. For the grammar part, Learner B answered, I enjoy reading novels, especially mysteries and thrillers, because they keep me engaged and curious. There was a mix-up in the tense, but the learner managed to correct herself mid-sentence. In addition, Learner B also mispronounced unwind instead of unwind, but she quickly corrected herself. According to Krashen's monitor hypothesis, the monitor plays a significant role as an editor checker that uses conscious knowledge of a language structure to correct or modify language output. So the use of the monitor is evident when she corrected herself multiple times. So this shows that Learner B is aware of her mistakes. So she corrected herself as an attempt to align grammar with real-time speech. Another difficulty that Learner B faced is vocabulary confusion. She pronounced the word assess instead of access in one of her answers. This may indicate vocabulary confusion due to phonological similarity. Learner B also mispronounced the word leaning instead of learning. So this error possibly caused by learners difficulties in differentiating speech rhythms or stress. So, since learner is a Malay, this error can be linked to the fact that in Malay language system, the words generally have flat or predictable stress pattern. So, the errors in her speech are mainly caused by L1 interference. Lev Vygotsky's social culture theory explained that in the beginning of language acquisition, learners initially use external tools, including the L1, to understand and communicate in L2. Lastly, Learner B used code switching in her speech. Learner B accidentally used the word salah in one of her sentences. So in Bahasa Melayu, the word salah means wrong. When Malay-speaking learners want to look for a word to indicate an error or mistake in English, they may unintentionally substitute the Malay word salah. So this is called code switching or code mixing, where learners rely on the L1 when they are unsure of the correct L2 word. So this is validated by Krashen monitor model hypothesis, in which code switching may happen when learners rely too much on their monitor to correct or modify the speech. As a result, the learners may opt for an L1 word to fill a gap when they cannot recall the correct L2 word.
Next would be the data analysis for writing. So for learner A, From her writing, we can see the sentence structure is simpler, and there are some grammar inaccuracies. So this likely due to the differences in how tense is expressed in IBAN. Based on the Krashen's monitor model, if learners lack sufficient exposure to L2 sentence structure, they may fall back on L1 structures. So we can see learner A might use IBAN sentence pattern in English because they have little English input that models proper tense and expect usage. We can also see, despite there are the tense inconsistency, the sentence flow naturally and expresses the idea clearly, indicating confidence and low affective barriers. Now, based on Vygotsky's sociocultural theory, IBAN's grammar structure likely influenced the learner's English. IBAN lacks tense markers. Instead, context and time indicators such as yesterday, tomorrow. This could explain the learner's struggle with tense consistency in English. Moving on to learner B. Now, for learner B, we can see the sentence structure are more varied with compound and complex sentences. This is maybe because Malay has similar subject, verb, object, word order to English, which might explain learner B ease with sentence structure. And in her writing also, the grammatical accuracy is higher with fewer errors. And the consistent use of past tense indicating stronger grasp of English tense system. For Krashen's monitor model, one that we see the most important is that the high quality writing indicates low affective filter. So yeah, learner B appears to be confident and comfortable using English to express complex ideas. So, but in Vygotsky's social cultural theory, learner B writing shows a high fluency and more natural use of English structure. So this may stem from social interactions where they receive corrective feedback or observe proper English sentence construction.
In conclusion, the analysis reveals that learners A and B navigate SLA uniquely, shaped by their linguistic backgrounds, motivations, and preferred methods of learning. Learner A emphasizes input and social interaction, reflecting Krashen's hypotheses and Vygotsky's ZPT, while Learner B prioritizes productive skills, balancing fluency and accuracy. Both learners benefit from supportive environments that foster collaborative learning and constructive feedback. These findings underscores the value of combining Krashen's and Vygotsky's frameworks to understand SLA complexities. To enhance their learning outcomes, educators must adopt diverse, personalized strategies that address specific challenges while leveraging individual strengths in language acquisition. Thank you.